Do you crave love, but you also feel suffocated by it? Do you long for intimacy, but you find yourself pulling away the moment that things get too close? If you are emotionally withdrawing from the very love that you want, then you may be running on avoidant attachment patterns. Here's the thing, avoidant attachment creates emotional distance. It makes it really hard for love to truly stick, even when you deeply desire it. But the good news is that you can rewire this pattern and you can finally allow the deep, connected love that you deserve into your life. So in this episode, I'm going to be diving into how avoidant attachment blocks love from fully entering your life. I'm going to be sharing the subconscious fears driving emotional distance. And I'm also going to be sharing with you, as always, practical steps that are going to help you to feel safe and attract secure, lasting love. So I want to begin today with why avoidant attachment sabotages connection. So avoidant attachment often stems from, I'm going to say, emotional neglect or having to self-soothe as a child. And it's not necessarily the neglect that you think of, where you're being totally left alone and you've been treated so badly and it's really obvious. It's more like you were never fully given the space to be yourself. You were never fully given that sense of, wow, okay, I'm worthy. It was always a bit like you were left to your own devices and you felt like you weren't maybe part of something, you weren't appreciated, and you were almost like cast to the side. So basically, as a result of that, you learned to rely on yourself. You learned to distrust emotional dependency. You learned to believe that anything you need or want in life is down to you. And you equate closeness with losing freedom because you create emotional walls. And that makes it really hard for people to truly connect with you. And one of the reasons why you will create these emotional walls is because you are very scared to let people in because you're fully aware that that could happen again. You could finally let someone in, you could finally open up, and you're going to be left very, very vulnerable in a very powerless position. And not only that, but you don't want to let those emotional walls down. It's one of your main survival coping mechanisms. So it's very, very hard for anyone to make a deep and meaningful connection with you. Any connection that you have with people is going to be very shallow, very surface level. There's just going to be so much that people have no clue about with you in terms of your depth and who you truly are. So an example of this is that you want a loving relationship, but when someone starts getting close, they could be like your perfect person. They could fit so well with you. They could be like almost your dream match. But when they start getting close, you start feeling smothered. You start feeling emotionally numb. And what you then do is you're wondering what's going on here, and you withdraw. You start to create distance, even if you don't intend to or you don't fully want to. It's almost like there's a state of confusion in your mind and you're pushing potential partners away. Now, your main manifestation block here is that because you are subconsciously associating closeness with being trapped, your energy sends mixed signals. So you might manifest emotionally unavailable or inconsistent partners who mirror your own emotional distance. And this is quite the challenge because you start to feel like any romantic connection or friendship, even connections that you have, you start to feel like you're even more isolated, and you start to create this self-fulfilling prophecy where you feel that true, deep, caring, lasting love is not possible. You start to feel that these connections are never possible and you can never trust anyone other than yourself. it starts to get quite dangerous if you don't start to see these things, to reflect on them, and to actually think about how to heal this attachment. So let's look at healing the subconscious fear of closeness, because this is something that if you are in this position right now, you're really going to want to heal. Because to manifest deep, lasting love, you have to feel safe with emotional intimacy. So here's how you start. You practice emotional vulnerability in very safe, low-stakes ways. So how do you do that? You share your feelings with trusted friends or journal your emotions to just slowly soften your emotional defenses. And what you'll find is that this helps to almost like soften that really tough exterior, and it helps you to feel like it is possible, and not only possible, but it's actually a good thing. It's actually a positive thing to fully own your feelings and not feel embarrassed about being as open with these, how can I say, like being more open with how you truly feel, how you truly are, and not like spilling absolutely all the details all the time and like becoming like a blubbering mess on the floor, but like sharing how you feel is hard for someone who has their walls up, for someone who it's a huge threat to do so. But if you can start to share in very small ways how you're feeling, and then just step back into your bubble, back into your shell, and just start to do this in a very small way, you're going to start to feel like, wait, I can let down my walls a little bit, and you're going to see positive reactions to this most of the time. And then that will strengthen your understanding that you can become more of your authentic self, because that's what it all comes down to. It's all coming down to you being yourself and not being afraid to share that. So what you need to realize is that emotional closeness doesn't mean losing yourself. It actually means being fully seen and accepted for who you are. And that's probably your biggest fear. You probably feel like you're not going to be accepted for who you are. So therefore, you're going to do whatever you can to self-preserve. Love isn't dependency, it's support. It's closeness. Then you need to actually start to think about recognizing your withdrawal triggers. So when you feel the urge to pull away, pause, breathe. That's the first thing, breathe. Am I protecting myself, or am I pushing love away out of habit? And if you're in person when this is happening, this can be really tricky. But you need to breathe, and you need to think, and just take your time with this. So an example is, if you often avoid, for example, deep conversations with your partner or your friends or people you know, just practice leaning in a little bit instead of pulling away. In terms of what you share, how you contribute to the conversation. And it's got to be someone that you feel comfortable with, not someone who's going to get carried away and take it down a huge rabbit hole. You'll know what I'm talking about, and you could probably be able to try and think of people in your life. But it's just about starting small, and you can, again, step back a little bit, and you can, draw that conversation to a close if you're feeling really uncomfortable, but it's about doing so in a way that you're sharing a bit more, you're being a bit more of yourself, calmly, without reacting in a crazy way. You're just calm. You're able to share more, you're able to be more of yourself. You're just starting small, sharing some sort of thought or emotion, but not over the top, because you're going step by step here. I want to finalize today with building secure connection and manifesting lasting love. So I want to start with the fact that, or finish really with the fact that once you feel safer with emotional intimacy, with sharing more of yourself with others, then you become naturally magnetic to healthy reciprocal relationships, which mean that there's give and take, which means that there is a very good balance of both of you contributing to the relationship. So it's about creating emotional safety within yourself first, when you can self-soothe, when that means basically feeling safe with your emotions, you no longer feel the need to escape closeness. Your energy is going to start to shift into calm, grounded confidence, but it takes practice. It's just like going to the gym. You're never going to feel comfortable, running on a treadmill at high speed for like 5 minutes if you don't start at 20 seconds. You're never going to feel comfortable going out and doing like a 10-mile walk if you have never walked one before. So it's about taking it in stages. You're training your brain, you're training your emotions, and really your spirit here is trying to help you to do so. So it's about training yourself. We can hope to build these amazing connections if we have work to do on ourselves that we're just not willing to do. It's the same thing. It's like you cannot wish to be the most healthy, strong version of yourself if you're deciding that you're not going to set foot inside the gym, or you're not going to get out and get working on yourself in some way physically. It can't happen. You need to do this work. It's exactly the same. So your energy is going to shift into calm, grounded confidence. You are going to start to manifest love through emotional availability, but only when you start to do the work. And when you're emotionally open, you're going to attract partners who are too. So you're going to start to draw in secure, consistent, and available relationships. And if you don't do that, what are you going to do? You're just going to continue to attract the exact same people that are exactly where you are right now. They're not emotionally available. They're not ready for a secure connection with you. You haven't done the work. And so you're not going to attract the right partner. When you start to do more of this work, you're going to start to open your eyes to the type of partner that you want to have in your life. So you're going to see a very, very big shift in the types of people that are resonating with you, who are on the same frequency as you. And you're going to find that your life is very enriched because you're not just welcoming romantic partners into your life, but friendships into your life who really are expanding your life in a positive way. But you can't do that if you're not willing to do the work on yourself. So if you've been, for example, unconsciously manifesting emotionally unavailable partners, just like, from childhood, the same old thing that you think is normal, which is not, your newfound emotional openness is going to begin to attract people who are equally open and ready for deep connection. And that's the end of the story. So some final thoughts for today. You do deserve deep, lasting love. You don't have to push love away to protect yourself, because the people that are coming into your life that are going to be perfect for you when you've done the work, when you go through all of this, those are not the same type of people that have maybe been in your life up until now. So you don't need to be concerned by being in these relationships and being trapped, because you're not going to feel trapped. You're going to feel liberated. You're going to feel at peace. You're going to feel safe. But you're not going to feel that until you do the work. So you don't have to push love away to protect yourself. You can feel safe with intimacy. You can have love that honors your independence. Trust me, that's possible. If that's what you want, if you still want a lot of independence, you can absolutely have that depending on the partner that you choose. And at the same time, fills your heart when you're both ready to come back and have that deep, meaningful connection. When you break free from avoidant patterns, you basically unlock a whole new level of connection. The kind of love that feels freeing, expansive, and deeply fulfilling, and not just in your romantic life, in your relationships, but as I said, in all different areas of your life. So if you're ready to stop running from love, if you're ready to feel safe with emotional closeness, if you're ready to manifest secure, lasting, and deeply connected relationships, then hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this series is going to continue to guide you every step of the way. I want you to know that you are worthy of love that feels safe, secure, and limitless. Let's make sure that we create this together. And I also want to remind you of an amazing manifestation bundle that's available for you as a free gift via the description. You'll find the links there. Some amazing tools in there to help you on your manifestation journey. You can find out more about all of the amazing offers and freebies and all of that on mrsmanifestation.com. And I'll see you tomorrow for the next episode in the series. And until then, stay, be yourself, keep doing the work, push yourself a little bit today to be more of yourself, and have an amazing day because you're so worth it.